Hi AQR students. So this is SAS8, Making Sense of Credit. And what we're going to be looking at here is a credit card statement. We're going to figure out, you can see there's some black boxes on here. Those are the things that we need to figure out in order to make this whole thing work. All right. So this is pretty detailed. It's kind of complicated. It's not hard, but there's just kind of lots of pieces to it. So please pay close attention. Stop the video, rewind the video if you need to. If you have questions, let me know. I'm going to work through this whole thing with you, and then I'm going to give you a practice problem to work through on your own. All right. And as far as I know, it's probably not out there anywhere on the internet for you to find and copy answers from, unfortunately. All right. So you're going to have to actually pay attention on this one. Okay. All right. So here we go. Following is a monthly statement from a typical credit card company. Parts left out intentionally are denoted by question marks, but you might not be able to see those, but they're these black places here, highlighted in gray, although, you know, there it is. So here's what we have. We have the opening to closing date. This opened on July 19th. It closes on August 18th. Okay? Payment due date is on September 12th. The minimum payment due is $93.30. Have an account number here. The previous balance, so as of 7/19, the previous balance on this account was $2,342.51. So they're carrying a lot of money on this credit card. All right. During the month, they made payments or they got credits of $150.21, so that's being subtracted from the balance. But they made purchases or got cash or debits of $410.89, which is adding to the balance. So their balance is going to increase because they added over $400 and they only take off about $150. They have a total of $3,000 on their credit line, so they're getting probably pretty close to that limit. All right. When we add in we're going to add in another $250 or so. That's going to put them around $2,600. So they're getting close to their credit limit. Available credit $376, cash access line $500, available for cash $376. Okay, we're going to figure out the finance charges and new balance later. So here's the transactions that happened on July 23rd. They purchased some gas. It cost $70.61. On July 24th, they made a payment to the credit card of $100. On July 24th, they made a purchase at a hardware store of $139. On July 25th, it looks like, is that a 5? I think that is a 5, yeah. I'm sorry, that's an 8. On July 28th, they bought some flowers for $24.95. On August 3rd, they bought groceries for $176.33. And then they made a return to the hardware store. Remember, they purchased $139 at the hardware store where they took back and got some credit for $50.21. So that's a credit that will come off. Even though we're going to add on 139, we're going to subtract 50 of that 21 back off. All right. You can see that we're going to figure out the daily periodic rate later, but they're paying per year almost 29, right at 29% per year. Now, if you go to the bank and try to get money from a savings account now, you're going to get like 1 or 2% maybe. All right. So their credit card company is charging you 29%. Most of the credit cards these days are not quite that high, but it probably depends on your credit rating. The worse your credit rating, the higher you're going to be paying in a percentage here. Okay? But that's a lot. That's a whole lot. All right? And then we'll figure out these other things as we go along. So, number 1 says, use the information in the statement to determine the balances throughout the month and then calculate the average daily balance for these purchases. So, on 7/19, our account started, right? 7/19 was the first day of the month up here. Going just off the screen. 7/19, first day of the period, all right? And the balance at that point was $2,342.51. All right? And it stayed that way until the 23rd. So 7/19 through 7/22, this was the balance, that opening balance from right here. That was it. Okay, it didn't change for the first several days. Then on 7/23, it changed. We bought gas. Somebody bought gas here. We're going to add 70.61 to this. All right, and I happen to have a little calculator here. Should look familiar to you. So I'm going to take 2342.51 and I'm going to add $70.61 and I get 2413.12. So on 723, 2413 and 12 cents. That's our new balance. It went up a little bit because purchased gas. All right. The next day, 724, payment of $100. So we're going to knock off $100. So I can do that in my head. I'm just going to take $100 off. That becomes 2313.12. And also the same day, we bought $139 worth at the hardware store. Okay, so $100 came off, but we added on $139. So we take that 2313.12 plus 139, and now we've got, so actually instead of being 2313, we have 2452.12. So it went up overall by $39. We took off 100, we added on 139, so overall it goes up by $39. It stayed there 724 through the 27th. And then on 728, bought flowers for $24.95. So I'm going to take my last balance here, plus $24.95, and I have $24.77.07. Stayed that way till 8:02. On 8:03, bought some groceries for $176.33. A lot of groceries. $26.53.40. Don't forget, if you get a decimal, you know, I see I get 0.4 here, but that's really 40 cents, not 4 cents. All right. Stays that way up through 8:17, and then on 8:18 we made a return to the hardware store of 50.21, so we're going to subtract that one, minus 50.21, 2603.19, 2603.19, and that was the last day of the period. Okay, it ends on 8:18, and that's where we are, 8:18 here. All right, so this is the balance for each particular day of the entire period from 7:19 to 8:18. Okay, so we need to figure out how many days each one had. So this first one was 19th through the 22nd. Do not, let me repeat, do not just subtract 22 minus 19 and say, oh, that's 3 days. Because we're talking about the 19th, the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd. That's 4 days. All right, we had 4 days for this one. 723, clearly just 1 day. 24th through the 27th, the 24th, the 25th, 26th, 27th, that is 4 days, not just 3. 4 days here. 28th through the 2nd of August. All right, there's 31 days in July. So I've got 28, 29, 30, and 31. 4 days to get through the end of July, plus the 1st and then the 2nd, so that's going to be 6 days total for that one. Okay, so if you've kind of noticed here, to figure out these, instead of taking 22 minus 19 and get 3, what you want to do is 22 minus the day before. 22 minus 18, 27 minus 23 is 4. If we think of the 2nd as the 33rd, 33 minus 27 is going to be 6. So here if I do 17 minus 2, this should be 15 days. And then I've got one more day, that last day on the 18th. Okay? All right. So that's our running balance here. Now we're going to calculate the average daily balance. So what we're going to do is what we would do is take each of these days, however, every single day of the period, add them all together, the balance for each day, add them all together, and then divide by the number of days. Well, instead of doing 23, 42, 51 and add it 4 times, we're just going to multiply it times 4. All right? So we're going to say 23, 42, 51. I'm going to multiply that times 4 plus 24, 13, 12. That's only multiplied times 1, so I'm just going to leave it as is. 24, 52, 12 times 4 plus 2477.07 times 6 plus 2653.40 times 15 plus one more here, 2603.19. And if we add these together, I've got 4 and 1 is 5, and 4 is 9, and 6 is 15, and 15 is 30. Should be a 31-day period here. So I'm going to take all of this and divide by 31. My advice to you when you do this is put all the top in the calculator, get an answer, and then divide by 31. Don't try to do it all in one step. Okay? This entire top should end up being $78,858.25. We're going to divide that by 31, and that gives us an average balance of $2,543.81. Notice it's significantly higher than the opening balance. Okay? It's about $200 more. Right? Okay. Let's look at number 2. The daily periodic rate describes the interest you are paying on your credit every day. Use the following formula to calculate the daily periodic rate to 5 decimal points, and then use this rate to determine the finance charge to the nearest cent. Note, APR stands for annual percentage rate. They gave us that on the front. So they told us that it was a 28.99 annual percentage rate. Days in the year, we're going to say 365, even though this year, leap year, 366. But our daily periodic rate, our DPR here, is equal to 28.99 divided by 365. And we're going to do that, 28.99 divided by 365, and I'm going to write it to 5 places here, 0, 7, 9, 4, 2. Okay? And this is the way you're going to need to do it when you're doing the practice yourself. All right? Now, the average balance every day, we said, was $2,543.81. That's the average balance for each day of this period. We're going to multiply that times the daily rate, but we need to change this. This is a percent right now, just like the 28.99 was a percent. So we need to move that decimal point over 2 times, so it becomes 0.0007,942. Now that looks like a really tiny percent, but 29% for the year is a lot. So we're going to do this times your percent, changed it to a decimal though, and then that would be how much we pay per day. The daily rate times the average daily balance, that's how much we pay per day, and then that was times 31 days. I think on the practice problem it'll be times 30 days because it's a 30-day period, I'm pretty sure, on the practice. So if I put this in, 2543.81 times 0.0007942 times 31, I'm going to round it to the nearest penny. 62.629 is going to round up to $62.63. So that's the finance charge. That's how much you are paying to, or somebody's paying to, the credit card company just to be able to use their card and carry that balance that you owe them. That does not come off your balance at all. That is money you're paying them for the convenience of the credit card. Okay? So, calculate the new balance considering credits, debits, and finance charges. All right? Well, what we can do is just take that ending balance we had. Remember, the last balance we had was 2603.19. So let's take the 2603.19 and we're going to add the finance charge to it. So if we do 2603.19 plus 62.63, I get 2665.82. And that is the new balance at the end of this period. That's how much is owed now, almost $2,700. Okay? Last question on this page. What percentage is the minimum payment to the new balance before interest? Okay? So they said on the front, it said that the minimum payment was $93.30. So we're going to take that minimum payment, $93.30, and we're going to divide by our new balance. So 93.3 divided by 2665.82, and we get 0.03499, approximately 0.035, or if I change to a percent here, 3.5%. Okay, so the minimum payment, they're only making us pay 3.5% of what we owe. Now the reason they do that is because they like you to, they want to give you a small amount to pay so that you pay it every month, but not enough that you're going to pay it off. If you're paying off 50% every month, you'll pay it off fairly quickly. But if you're only paying 3% every month, well, that's going to take you a really long time to pay that off. And we'll look into that later on. All right, so now we're looking at Marley, number 5. Marley has a credit card with an APR of 22.75% and a current balance of $14,677.90. If Marley uses the same percentages from the previous questions, what is her minimum payment? Remember, it was 3.5% for the minimum payment. So we're going to take her balance, 14,000. That's a huge balance, 14,677.90. We're going to multiply that times 3.5% is a decimal, so 0.035. And this will give us 14,677.9 times 0.035. Minimum payment of $513.73. Minimum payment. Okay? So, using that minimum payment for number 6, how long will it take her to pay off the current balance, assuming she does not add any more charges to her credit card? Okay, and then how much in interest would paying only the minimum every month cost her? All right, so we're going to use a TDM calculator here to figure out how long it's going to take her to do all this. So her present value, remember she owed $14,677.90. Oh, it's not putting the numbers in. Why is it not putting the numbers? There we go. All right, she's going to make payments of $513.73. So I'm going to make that a negative amount because it's going to be subtracting off of her balance. She has a balance of almost $15,000, but every month she's going to pay off $513.73. In the future, we want her to pay this off entirely. So the future value is 0. Her annual rate is 22.75. She is paying monthly. And so the question is, how many periods, how many years is this going to take? How many periods is going to take? So this is actually going to tell us how many months. So when I push that, I get 41.54. So basically 42 months. It's going to take 42 months. All right. So 42 months is our answer here, which is 3.5 years. Right? 3 years would be 36 months, and another 6 months would be 42 months. All right? So in that time, if we do 40, I'm going to use the exact number here. Well, we'll do it this way. All right, we'll say we're going to take our 42 months. We're going to multiply that times the minimum payment, $513.73. And that'll tell us the total amount she's going to pay. 42 times 513.73 is $21,576.66. Okay? Now, she owed, when she started this whole thing, $14,677.90. So she owed almost $15,000. She's going to end up paying back almost $22,000. So when I subtract that, 14,677.9, she ends up paying almost $7,000 to the credit card company $6,898.76 to the credit card company because she owed such a large amount. Okay? So that is money thrown away, basically. All right? Okay, we're stopping here. We're not going to do the rest of this worksheet. This is it. This is what I'm going to ask you to do for the practice. So you'll see there's two PDFs. There's the SAS8, and then there will be a practice worksheet. The practice worksheet, it's going to just list off, it's going to have 4 transactions that happened during a month. There'll be a payment during the month, and you're going to go through and answer the exact same questions that we did right here. Okay? If you have any questions, watch the video again. Try that first. Send me an email if you're still confused. All right? Hope y'all are doing well. We'll talk to you later.